Hello guys, and welcome back to the second part of this video on my channel. If you haven't seen the first part, please click the first link in the description below. If you have seen the first one, enjoy. Yeah, after I had a really bad episode while doing my master studies, I basically said, okay, I'm not sure if I want to do the ablation, but let's go to another doctor and ask about his opinion. And I went to another doctor. He said, yeah, you can do it, but I'm not an expert here. He redirected me to the hospital where they are doing these ablations, and he made an appointment with a doctor there who is also doing this. I was going there and I was talking to him, and he said the amount and the stress I have with it, he would really recommend me doing the ablation. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's do an appointment. It will take 2 months for the next free appointment. And I remember I was like, yeah, I made the appointment, but I will think about it, because I was just scared, because like having a surgery in your heart is really scary, yeah. Especially when there's not that big of a risk that you're going to die in an ablation, but there is a quite big chance of around 1% that they will have to implement a pacemaker into your heart. I mean, the SVT will be gone there, but you are like, I was 23 at that time, and I was like, I don't want to have a pacemaker at that time, because getting a pacemaker in your young years is really bad, because you have to replace it every 15 years, and these surgeries are really life-threatening. So the risk was there, and I want to do anything before I take this step. I remember 1 week before the ablation, they called me and said if that's fine and I want to do it. And I was like, yeah, I will do it. And 3 days before the appointment I had to instantly, and from one day to another, stop taking my beta blockers. And this was again a really, really hard time, because I was taking my beta blockers for 6 years or 7 years. And if you take medicine that chills down your heart for this long, you have a big rebound effect. So for these 3 days, I couldn't go up the stairs. It took me, I live on the second floor, and it took me normally 5 minutes to get up the stairs, because I was so out of breath and my heart was beating so fast. I was just taking 5 stairs, and it was feeling like I would wake up in the middle of the night after a bad dream. I had this heart of palpitations. I was feeling really bad. Yeah, the day came, I went there, and I was so done. I was so nervous and I was so anxious. I knew that the ablation would be on the next day, so I would arrive on the first day. They would do some tests on me on that day, like measure my heartbeat and something. But I went there and I was really nervous, and I was so nervous. I was sure I was getting SVT, just sitting there and waiting for the doctor. But it didn't happen. I was really surprised there. And I remember I was doing some tests. They was taking blood. They would take my heartbeat and everything. And I was sitting there waiting for my room to be free. And then one of the doctors came and said like, yeah, somebody didn't show up for the appointment, and we could just do it now. I was like, yeah, let's do it, but oh my god, I was so scared. And he was like, what's up with you? He was like, it's nothing. I mean, he was doing this like 5 times a day, so not that special, but I was really scared. And I told him, please give me something to chill me down. And I remember they gave me a white pill. And I got my room, and I was laying in my bed, and I was on the phone with my girlfriend, and I told her, yeah, I think the medicine is starting, like the chill down medicine is starting. And she told me that I was just talking really bad, so the medicine was really strong, I think. And I remember that they rolled me in. There was a really nice doctor, and the people there in general were really nice. He introduced him. He said, yeah, I'm Tobias, and I'm gonna be doing this today. And I said like, yo, hey. I was joking a little bit because I was really high of the medicine they gave me. And I don't remember everything from the ablation, but I will just describe everything I knew. Yeah, they were just rolling me in there. They was placing me on this. They were placing me on this table and putting like a million stickers on me. And I also knew they put a cardioversion on me, just in case. And I remember that he said that he gave me a local anesthesia. So they introduce like a lot of catheters through your groin area. So he said that he will introduce the anesthesia, local anesthesia now, so I don't will feel anything they do up down there. A lot of people that told me about the surgery said that this the local anesthesia is really painful. And I remember it was not nice. They just put a big syringe in my groin area and it hurt a lot. He warned me, thank God. But it was okay. I mean, it was a little bit high, so it probably wasn't that bad for me. They started putting cables and catheters into my heart. I couldn't feel that much. I remember when I saw him doing that, I remember feeling a little bit of scratching, and it was feeling like on my back, but it was inside of me, so it was a little bit, yeah, I couldn't feel it that much because you can't feel it in your heart. And then I felt that he was entering my heart with the catheter, because my heart was just like every third beat of my heart would just be irregular, and it was like duk 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 duk. Yeah, so my heart was feeling that there were some cables inside of it, but I was feeling okay. If you're an anxious person, just take some pills beforehand. It really helps, and it is really not that bad of a deal then. One of the doctors came to me and she said, yeah, you're a little bit anxious. We're gonna give you a little bit more of an anesthesia. And I was just saying, don't put me to sleep fully, please. And she was like, no, we won't do that. And yeah, they were just putting me down a little bit more because I was really anxious, which was really a surprise for me because in that moment I didn't felt that bad. The drugs were really nice, I can say you that. Then I remember they were trying to provoke this SVT because you have to be in the condition that they can remove it. They have to measure it. And yeah, I remember they were provoking my heart. And this was a really scary experience. If you remember these Morse codes, I hope this is the right term in English, where in like 20th century where they were communicating with it. These and there was a guy doing this. I was hearing like and in the next moment my heart would beat like that. In this sequence he just pressed, and he would repeat it, and like 1 second delay it would beat like that. It was really scary, but my condition was really easy to replicate because after he did this 2 times my condition started. And I got into SVT, and they could measure it and hopefully remove it. I was way high there. I didn't remember that much. I remember that they started ablating. I was feeling a little bit of pain, not really bad, but like a big heat in my chest. And I also remember that I felt that my heart went back to a normal rhythm. And afterwards, I didn't remember this much. I remember that they did more provoking. They did their Morse code again, and they put some adrenaline directly into my heart to see if it goes back into the SVT. But it didn't go back, so the surgery should have been a success. You can't know for sure, but the chances are really good. Yeah, and then I went out of the surgery room, back into a room, and I was calling my girlfriend. I was so high. I was texting her first, and I wrote such a bad message. It was one of these messages you get from a friend at 4 a.m. when you know he's really drunk. And the funny thing was, I was calling my mother there and said everything fine. It was really fast. I said it was only half an hour, but she said no, it was 2 hours, and she was a little bit worried because the time was just passing by so fast. Yeah. So this was the ablation, and at that time I felt really good. I mean, I was lucky to be alive, so I felt really good. And I didn't have that much of palpitations or really that much pain. I was able to walk a small round on the evening, and I was feeling okay. Yeah, the night was okay. I slept well. On the next day, I had some palpitations. The cool thing was, my surgery was pre-posed for 1 day, so I could go home 1 day earlier. I was feeling okay when I were laying down, but sitting or walking was really, really hard because my heart was beating so strong because of the beta blockers I didn't take anymore. And yeah, it was hurting a little bit, and I was really done. I went home, and the days and weeks after were okay, I would say. They weren't really that hard. I had a little bit of pain in my groin area, and I had the same problem with the really strong heartbeat. Yeah, I was feeling okay. I went for a walk like 2 days after the surgery, and I remember I went for like 100 meters and I have to go back because I was so out of breath, and yeah, I didn't feel that good. But after several days or 1 week, it got really well, really fast. Like 2 weeks after, I was able to do sports again. Yeah, it just went better from day to day. Today, it's like 5 weeks after the surgery, and I'm feeling really good. I'm pretty much back to normal, and I'm feeling really good because when I'm doing sports now or something else, I'm not really scared of getting an SVT. I'm so glad that I did this, and if you're in the same situation, I can just recommend you doing it. It is not that bad. It's not nice, but it's not that bad as you imagine it. The moment you're done with it, it's worth every second you fought through to get there. Especially when you're younger, it's just the whole life you get back through this. So if you're in the same situation, I can just recommend you doing it. Yeah, I think that wraps it up pretty good. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'm gonna answer any of them. Even if you want to talk to me, there's no problem, just write down in the comments below. I am Neon, I'm SVT free, and I see you guys in the next one.